The standard Dave talks about his layout, wrap-up poster video thing. Ubiquitous Dave yaps about how bad this layout is. Okay, pros and cons. So, what worked? Lots of stuff. What didn't work? Few things. What didn't work is there to the top, the electrical is dead. I don't know what it was. I'm sure I'll find out the second I start taking it apart. C'est la vie. What worked spectacularly? That level there that we talked about 3 weeks ago. That was absolutely fantastic. It was, it worked fantastically well. Eye candy for the kids. Absolutely loved it. Roll over here so you can see it some more. I think it's going to be a welcome addition. I just have to find a box for it because right now I don't have a box for it. I need to add more lighting underneath. Only those two work. There's none there, and the rest. So these two landing pads worked, but these two landing pads are connected to the bottom half of this, and those lights work inside. The top half is those two landing pads there. Electrical goes up there to the top, and that didn't work at all. So Sylvie. What also worked spectacularly are the seek and finds. Seek and find there, and seek and find there. The kids loved it. It was fantastic. So I see why Jeff does it. I might do more, but I'm gonna like finalize and get that better. But the kids were all over that. Right? I added more detail because I could. Because of course you have to add the seek and find characters in here, and that worked spectacularly well. I will have to remember to take all the seek and find characters off and put them in a separate bag so they don't get lost. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. The wiring for the monorails, the wiring was fantastic. The light sensors, fantastic. The 3 RCXs underneath that mess, fantastic. That mess is a huge detriment because of course it's a shelf and we put stuff on it. So I gotta come with something better because you don't even have access to the RCXs right now. Other things like all the nifty little details. So sitting here all weekend working on this thing, I realized that there are some woeful deficiencies on the wiring, not for the RCXs and the rails, but for the lighting. The lighting was a disaster overall. I'm gonna have to rewire, I think, a lot. And some of the lights aren't working still. And so what my future plan is I'm going to rewire basically everything from top to bottom, one section at a time. And instead of having that huge morass of ribbon cable going back to the wall warts, because I'm not sure about the wall warts, because again, that's dead. And I had to jury rig this one. I'm going to connect them to RCXs with 9-volt power converters or something. I'll talk to Rob Hendricks maybe. What I had to do to get this thing lit up again is I completely bypassed the 110 volts and I grabbed this wire here and I brought it right up to here, plugged it into there. And this is going back to here to a 9-volt to 3-volt converter, RCX. And that RCX wire comes through here and goes to the RCX. So the RCX has actually been lighting that the entire weekend. Of course, the RCX has to be running for it to be powered, but still it is. But that way, because of course, the light sensors wouldn't work without those lights working. So in order to get the lights working so the train stops at all the locations, those lights had to be on, and that's why I jury rigged it to go back to the RCX. So finding out that that works for that, I might dispense with the 110 volt adapters altogether and just put RCXs out there. Yes, there'll be a lot more RCXs. Right now I'm running this thing off of 1, 2, and there's the 30 RCX braid underneath there that's running the entire layout, 5 rails and the 5 loops, the lighting, the door itself, fantastic overall. A few times they got stuck. You can see it's going up now, and the ship comes out. So that was fantastic. The kids caught that. Oh, it's coming. It takes a while, but I think it's worth the wait. So thank you for doing that, because I wanted to catch that video. So that's working. I'm going to do more of that going forward. I'm just going to have smaller things like the, I think we're doing closing ceremonies, maybe not. So that does work. The little details work. The seat confine worked. There's going to be some other changes though. I'm going to try to make this thing a lot easier to set up instead of having that massive wiring underneath. As I said about the base plates, I'm going to be taking the landing pads and the crater plates off of the melamine, and I'm going to replace it with plywood with like lighter stuff, so I don't kill my back lifting this stuff up. The two shifts, one from my friend Glenn right there. And this thing just showed up in my layout. I got a box. It's beautiful. Thank you very much. I won't mention names because I didn't ask them if I was allowed to do that. The other thing that was really good, I mean, Pete's video obviously is good, but the other thing that worked spectacularly well for conversation, and I've never had this at a show before, is the history of the Classic Space layout, detailing from humble beginnings of just landing pads, crater plates, and spaceships with one water rail loop, down to all the way down to here back in 2019, right before COVID. And then I remembered that this one was taken while the layout was right over there. So I've been in this building since 2019. Also, the org chart was fantastic. So lots of good things happened at the show. Lots of takeaways happened at the show. But again, as you can see, it's basically the same. I mean, as I say, that layer worked out great. And now the tower is over 6 feet tall. So that's the next and final thing I'm going to talk about today. Make a nice short video, because you know how much I hate talking. So I got those two boxes. I got those two boxes there, and I got those two boxes there. They're half the height of this box.
$5.
Wallet? You put it somewhere. It might be in the bag. So those two boxes, I'm going to try the next show is I'm going to put the layout on those two boxes when they're, so it's like half the height of this box. So it's lower, because a lot of kids could not see on top of the landing pads, and I felt bad for that. So I'm going to fix that for next show. I'm going to try it anyway. See if it works on those boxes there. And then we'll go from there. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to get some overhead shots of the layout. As you can see, it's still running fantastically well. The problem, the sun was not out at all this weekend, which is a bit of a shame, because I wanted to get some pictures of this thing with the sun behind it. But c'est la vie. So that's it. That's all. I'm sure I'll talk about it more at future videos. But there's the convention wrap, and we'll just end on. Night all.